Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this video, I'll show you how to design this filterable gallery using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now this is how it works. We can see that we have this gallery over here and we have different images. And if I click on one of these categories, for example, if I click on web design, we can see that all the images of web design are displayed over here. And if I click on branding, we have the images of branding, and the same with photography. And if I click on all the images are displayed. And this is also responsive, so if I decrease the width of the browser window, this is how it looks on smaller screens. So in this video, we will see how to design this from scratch using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let's get started. Alright, so here I have created this folder called filterable gallery, and I also have this folder called images, where we have these images which we're going to use in our design. So let's start by creating the necessary files. Let's create a new file called index.html. Let's create one more file called style.css, and let's create a JavaScript file. Let's name it main.js. Let's go to the index.html file, and in VS Code you can just type exclamation and press tab, and you'll have this basic HTML5 code. Now here let's link our CSS file. So let's type link and press tab, and here let's type style.css. And in the body let's type script:/src and press tab, and here let's type main.js. Right now let's start with the markup of our design. So the first thing we will do is we'll create a container division, and let's give it a class of gallery container. And in this we need to have an h1. So in this heading I'll just copy this text and paste it over here. And then we need to have a paragraph. So let's create a p tag, and let's copy this text and let's paste it over here. And after that we need to have these buttons, and let's call it filter buttons. So let's create a division with the class of filter buttons. Now for the filter buttons, we'll create buttons, and let's give it classes of filter button, and we'll also give it a class of active for the active buttons. So for the first button, we'll just give it a class of active. So I'll just duplicate this 3 more times, and for the first one, let's type active. And here for the text, let's type all. And we'll also add a data attribute so that we know which one is being clicked, so that we can access it in our JavaScript. So let's go ahead and set a data attribute called filter, and let's set it to all for the first one. And for the second one, let's type data filter, and let's set it to web, and this one is web design. So let's type web design over here. And the next one is branding, and let's type branding over here. And the last one is photography. So let's type data filter photography, and here let's type photography. Well, now we need to create this grid of these different images. So for that, let's go ahead and create a division with the class of gallery grid. And in this, for each of these gallery items, let's create a division with the class of gallery item. And I will also give it classes for each of these different categories. So let's type web for the first one, and here let's go ahead and create an img tag, and for the source let's type images /webdesign1.jpg. So all these images are inside this images folder, and I'll just go ahead and duplicate this, and we need to add 1 2 3 4 5 more of these. So let's duplicate this 5 more times. And for the second one, let's go ahead and change this to branding. So the class will be branding, and for the image, let's change the image to branding1.jpg. And for the alt, we can add any text that we want. So for first one, I'll just have web project 1, and for the second one, let's type branding project 1, and for the third one, let's change this to photo, and for the image, let's change this to photography1.jpg, and for the alt, let's type photography project 1, and let's do it for the next 3 divisions as well. So here let's type branding, and here for the image let's type branding2.jpg, and here let's type branding project 2, and for the second last let's type web, and for the image let's type web design2.jpg, and here let's type web design or web project 2, and for the last one let's type photo, and for the image let's type photography2.jpg, and here for the alt let's type photography project 2. And with that, we have completed writing the HTML of our website. So let's open this in our browser and let's see how it looks. So I have this extension called Live Server installed in VS Code. So once you have this extension called Live Server installed, you can just right click over here in the HTML file and click on Open with Live Server. And here we can see all the content is being displayed in our browser. Now let's style this. So let's go to our CSS file. The first thing we will do is we will target the body, and let's set the font family to Poppins and sans serif. So this is how it looks. We also need to import this from Google Fonts. So if you are using this in a real website, you can just go ahead and go to Google Fonts website and get the link and paste it for CSS, or you can also get the link for HTML and paste it in the head section. But for now, I'll just skip it. And for the background color, let's set it to F8, F9, FA. And let's set the margin to 0. And let's add a padding of 40 pixels top and bottom, 20 pixels left and right. And let's set the color of all the text to 212529. Right now, let's target the gallery container. So here we can see we have this division with the class of gallery container. Let's type gallery container and let's add a max width of 1140 pixels. And let's set the margin to 0 auto. Let's type text align center. Right now, let's target this H1. So let's tap H1. Let's set it to font weight of 600. Let's tap font size and let's set it to 2.5 rem. Let's set the margin top and bottom, which is margin block, and let's set it to 0. Alright, now let's style this paragraph. So for the paragraph, we have this p tag inside the gallery container. So here I'll just tap gallery container p. Let's set the color to 6C757D. And let's set the font size to 1 rem. And let's set the margin bottom to 12 pixels. And let's set the margin top to 15 pixels. Right now, let's style these filter buttons. So let's tap filter buttons. Let's add a margin bottom of 50 pixels. And now let's style these individual buttons. So for the buttons, we have this class of filter btn. So let's tap filter btn. And let's set the background color to transparent. And let's remove the border. Let's set the font size to 16 pixels. And let's set the color of the text to 6C757D. And let's set the padding to 12 pixels top and bottom, 24 pixels left and right. And let's set the cursor to pointer. Let's also add a border radius. Before that, let's go ahead and style the active class. So here we can see in the HTML for the first one, we have the active class. So let's tap filter button dot active, and let's set the background color to 212529, and let's set the color to white. Right now, let's go ahead and continue styling this filter button. So here, let's add a border radius of 50 pixels. Let's set the font weight to 500. We'll also add a transition of all 0.3 seconds ease. And now when you hover over this, we will also add a hover effect. So let's go back and here let's tap filter button :hover, and here let's go ahead and tap background color, and let's set it to E9 ECEF, and let's set the color to 212529. And here the background color is not working, so we need to add a hash over here. So now we can see that it is working. Now for the active button, we don't want to have the hover effect. So for that, let's go ahead and add this hover effect before the active class. So now we can say it works all right. Right now, let's also add some margin between these filter buttons. So here let's tap margin of 5 pixels. Right now, let's style this gallery grid. So let's target the gallery grid. We have this division of the class of gallery grid. So let's type gallery grid, and let's set the display to grid. Let's tap grid template columns. Let's set it to repeat autofill, and min max 300 pixels and 1 FR, and this will make it responsive. So right now we can say that there are 3 of these images displayed over here, and if I decrease the width of the browser window, we can see there are 2 images, and now we have 1 image. So in this way we can make it responsive. And let's also add a slight gap between the images. So let's tap gap of 25 pixels. And right now the gap is not being displayed because the size of the image is too high. So first of all, let's set the size of the image. So let's tap gallery item, because we have this gallery item division inside this gallery grid. So let's target the image inside this. Let's set the width to 100% and let's set the height to 100%. Let's set the display to block and object fit to cover so that we have the correct proportions. And this is how it looks. Now let's go ahead and style the gallery item division. So here let's go ahead and type gallery item. Let's set the border radius to 16 pixels. Let's add a box shadow of 0, 5 pixels, 20 pixels RGBA, 0, 0, 0 and 0.7. I think we need to decrease the opacity. Let's type 0.07. And now I think it looks alright. Now the border radius is not working because the image is going outside the gallery item division. So we can just add overflow of hidden. And now we can see that we have the border radius being displayed. Let's also add a hover effect for the images. So let's go back and here let's type gallery item colon hover. Let's type transform, translate Y, -5 pixels, and let's type box shadow 0, 10 pixels, 25 pixels RGBA, 0, 0, 0 and 0.1. Let's also add a smooth transition. So let's type transition of transform 0.3 seconds ease and box shadow 0.3 seconds ease. And now we can see we have this hover effect, but the transition is not working. So here we have this typo. We need to type transform. So now it is working alright. And with that we have styled our gallery grid. Now let's also add a class called hidden. And when we have this class of hidden, we'll just hide it. So we will use this class inside our JavaScript. Right, that's it with our CSS. Now let's go to our JavaScript file and let's start writing the functionality. First of all, we need to reference some elements. We need to reference these gallery items and also these filter buttons. So if you go to the HTML file, we can see that we have this button with the class of filter btn, and we also have this gallery item with the class of gallery item. So let's type const filter buttons equals document.querySelector all filter btn and const gallery items equals document.querySelector all gallery item. Now let's go ahead and add an event listener to these filter buttons. So let's type filter buttons and we need to loop through all these filter buttons. So let's type dot for each and let's call each of them button. And here let's type button dot add event listener and let's listen for the click event and let's create an arrow function. And here the first thing we will do is we will remove the active class from all these filter buttons. So let's type filter buttons dot for each button and let's type button dot class list dot remove active. So this will first of all remove the active class from all the filter buttons, and then we need to add the active class to the clicked filter button. So let's type button dot class list dot add active. And now if you go back and if I click on web design, we can see that this one is active. So everything is working all right. Now when we click on any of these filter buttons, we need to get the data attribute of that. So if you go back to the HTML file, here we can see that we have different data attributes. So we have filter for each of these buttons and they are all web, branding or photography. So we need to get these values. So here let's go ahead and type const filter value equals button dot dataset dot filter. So we are getting this data attribute filter and we are getting the value and storing it inside the filter value. Let's go ahead and console.log the filter value. Let's go back to our website. Let's open the console and let's click on web design and we can see the filter value web is displayed over here. Let's click on branding, photography and all. So the filter value is being fetched correctly. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to hide all the gallery items based on the filter value. So let's remove this console log from here and let's type gallery items dot for each. And let's loop through each of these gallery items and let's call each of them item. And here we will use an if condition and let's check whether the filter value is equal to all or the item contains a class. So let's type class list dot contains, and does it contain this filter value class? That's because if we have this image for the web, we have this class of web, and for this one we have branding. So we already have added these classes in our HTML. So if we are selecting any of these filter values, that class will be equal to this filter value because we are giving the same classes. So here we can see we have web and we have the same value over here as well for the data attribute. So these data attributes and these classes are matching. So now what we need to do is if we have all or if we have one of these classes, then we need to remove the hidden class from them. So let's type item.classList.remove hidden. And for all the other items, let's type else. We need to add the hidden class. So let's type item.classList.add hidden. And now let's go back and let's select web design. And we can see that we have the two images of web design displayed over here. If I click on branding, we have the images of branding displayed over here, and let's click on photography. And the photography images are not being displayed. So let's go back. Let's see what's the problem. Let's go to the index.html file, and here for photography, we have the data attribute set as photography. Let's scroll down, and here let's see. Here we have photo. So let's change this to photography. Let's do it for this one as well. Let's go back and let's click on photography, and now we can see that the images or the projects for photography are displayed over here. And if I click on all these images are being displayed, and this is also completely responsive. So that's basically how you can create this filterable portfolio gallery using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So that's basically it for this video. I will leave the link of the source code in the description of this video, and if you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.